What's going on, everyone? The Lakers have been in the process of trying to acquire Buddy Hield and Myles Turner from the Indiana Pacers. It was reported earlier today that the talks are currently dead because of the Lakers' lack of including a second first-round pick. Although those talks can be re-engaged once the Lakers come to the table with 2 first-round picks. Now, this trade has a lot of people very mixed, right? The Lakers, many people want them. Go get the deal, F them picks type thing. Go get Myles Turner and Buddy Hield. But there's a couple things to that. One, obviously, if you're going to give those 2 picks, you want to be able to be in a position to actually contend. I don't think the Lakers are real contenders if they go get Buddy Hield and Myles Turner. I do think it's a huge upgrade. I do think they're that much closer, but I still think there are a handful of teams that are better than the Lakers with Myles Turner and Buddy Hield. But chemistry, health, a lot of things could go into that factor and go into that play. But are you certain that they are a contender? Because the problem is you don't want to make that deal. You end up taking on these guys. You miss out on Kyrie Irving, and then you're not a contender. You never become a contender, and then you're terrible because everyone's gone by the time those picks are due, and you basically gave those picks away for nothing. And, it's not that those picks are like super coveted, super valued that the Lakers need to do whatever it takes to hold on to, but you want to give those up. Once you give those up, you have no more leverage. You lost everything. You have no more tradable assets, right? So those are like the real value that they have right now. And unless you can get a deal that really works out, then you should preserve those. Like those picks are still going to be there. Those trades are still going to be there. I mean, even the Indiana Pacers trade, still going to be there, right? That was the whole point. So no need to rush and expedite it. Now, obviously, Buddy Hield, he is, the white whale that the Lakers have been going after for some time. Personally, I don't understand it. I think that you could get much better options. I mean, even Joe Harris. If Joe Harris can be healthy, I think he's an upgrade over Buddy Hield, in my opinion. You have Kendrick Nunn, was a 38% three-point shooter last time he played, but he also offers you more than three-point shooting. Buddy Hield, don't get me wrong, would be great addition, but not for 2 first-round draft picks and stuff like that. And yes, you're getting Myles Turner in the deal, but we already have so many bigs. I think that in reality, if they do this deal, it is to go and get Kyrie Irving, because the home run is Buddy Hield and Kyrie Irving, because now you got your shooter. Maybe in the Kyrie deal, you could even still get Joe Harris. So now you got 2 shooters, you got Kyrie, plus you got all the other players that you have. That, I think, is the ultimate play. And I think that's why the Lakers haven't done this deal. I believe that this deal is a leveraged deal by the Lakers. Because think about it. They want Kyrie. Kyrie is the ultimate prize. And if they're not going to do anything until they know Kyrie is unobtainable. And as many people talk about, the deal is dead, it's never going to happen, it's not this, that, and the other. Well, then why haven't either side done anything to abolish this? All the Nets have to do is just say, hey, we're not trading Kyrie. We're going to keep him. He's going to stay. The only team that wants him is the Lakers, and we don't want to trade him to the Lakers because we don't like anything that they have. All of that, this would be over. That's it. No more conversations. The Lakers, if they went and trade both first-round picks, and went and got Buddy Hield and Myles Turner, then that very likely means the Kyrie trade is dead. Or is it? I think, and I could be completely wrong, this is just my thoughts, is that the Lakers know we have a deal for Buddy Hield and Myles Turner. We have to give up, whatever, THT, Russell Westbrook, and 2 first-round picks, right? Because that's the whole deal, right? You move off of Westbrook, get Buddy Hield, you get Myles Turner. I think that they know we have this deal on the table. Now you take that deal, you go to the Nets and you say, hey, 2 options. We're going to do this deal over here, or we'll do your deal, but this is what's going to happen. Take your pick. You want to be stuck with Kyrie for a year? Fine, go ahead. Otherwise, we're going to move over here. We're going to look in this direction. The third option, which I think is actually the most likely, in my opinion, is you get Myles Turner, an asset and commodity that the Brooklyn Nets have wanted for some time, and you say, we have a deal on the table for Buddy Hield and Myles Turner, but we have to give up both first-round picks. Therefore, you're not going to get a first-round pick, but we will give you Myles Turner, and we'll give you, 2 or 3 second-round picks. So you're getting second-round picks because right now you want a first-round pick and several second-round picks, right? Well, instead of the first-round pick, here's a commodity right now that you could have, an asset you could have that could help you win now. Because you got to remember, Brooklyn, they cannot tank. They cannot be in a position to tank. Not only that, but they can't replace Kyrie Irving if they just let him walk because they already have too much salary on their books. So you have Ben Simmons still on a max. You still have Kevin Durant on a max. So if Kyrie just leaves, they can't replace him. But you make a deal for Myles Turner. Now you have that guy that you could re-sign and all is right in the world again. You can extend Myles Turner. The world is spinning all over again, and the Brooklyn Nets are now competitive. And Myles Turner is an asset that they've wanted for some time. It makes sense to trade for Kyrie because you're going to lose Kyrie regardless. It might be more valuable than a first-round pick. I think the Lakers know because it's already been said that. Like, even in the report, it's all the Lakers have to do is give up the 2 first-round picks, and the deal's done. So if you know that I have this deal ready to go, I have this deal lined up, you don't need to rush it. You say, I could always go back to that deal. That deal's not going anywhere. If another team was going to come out of the woodworks and swoop up on Buddy Hield and swoop up on Myles Turner, they probably would. But Myles Turner is a free agent, so his value isn't going to be super high. Buddy Hield is on a 2-year, $22 million a year contract and doesn't do anything but shoot. So, how many teams are going to give up a ton of assets for that? And that's a lot of money that most of these teams would have to take back. No tanking team, no rebuilding team is going to want Buddy Hield. So you're talking about contenders. How many contenders are going to trade several pieces to go get Buddy Hield and have to match the $22 million salary and give up assets, all that stuff? Not very many. That Lakers deal is not going anywhere. So if you're the Lakers, you take a step back, you go to Brooklyn and you say, hey, we still want Kyrie. Kyrie is numero uno. We could work out this 3-team deal where you get Myles Turner because we already have Anthony Davis, and then we have Thomas Bryant and Damian Jones. So you could go and get Myles Turner, which is a guy you wanted. There was even talks about it in the Kevin Durant trade, all that stuff. You get him without even giving up Kevin Durant. You're going to lose Kyrie either way. Yes, you're not getting a first-round pick, but instead of gambling on a first-round pick 5 to 7 years from now, you get a proven commodity right now while you need to win. You move off of Kyrie, boom, we do that. We get Buddy Hield, we get Kyrie Irving. If maybe you take on Joe Harris, maybe you work it out some way, multiple pieces, whatever. But the ultimate trade-off would be Lakers get Buddy Hield and Kyrie Irving, and then the Nets get Myles Turner, Westbrook goes there. I just think it would be, you could leverage the Indiana Pacers trade. And this is something I've mentioned several times in the past and even made a video about the other day. And it's looking more and more likely like it's shaping up that way. Again, I'm just some dude on the internet. I could be completely wrong. This is just my personal thoughts and opinions. But you have a guy, an asset that is more valuable than your draft picks 7 years from now. Because what if the Lakers are a championship team then? Yes, you could take the chance that they're terrible and maybe you get a good pick, but the Nets aren't in a position to worry about 7 years from now. They're in a position to worry about right now. And you want to try to keep Kevin Durant around. So Myles Turner, Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, Patty Mills, all of these guys. You got TJ Warren. You would have a very good and solid squad. You still have Seth Curry, whatever. And on top of that, if you can move off of Joe Harris's contract, now you're in the money. Now you're really talking. I just think that there are ways that the Lakers could take the Indiana Pacers trade, leverage that, and then move that to the Nets. And now you're in the conversation for both. Because the Lakers could make the Buddy Hield trade straight up without losing out on Kyrie Irving. If they get both of them, either 2 things happen. Either the Lakers have given up on the possibility of getting Kyrie Irving, or B, the other option is that Myles Turner is going to the Brooklyn Nets because they're not going to give up on Kyrie Irving. If the Lakers were going to give up on Kyrie Irving and go another direction, they would have. The problem is that as long as Kyrie Irving is still available and still a chance for the Lakers, and you still have a month and a half before you really have to make a decision and really have to worry about it, there's no need to rush. Take your time. As much as people say nobody wants Westbrook and nobody wants this and nobody wants that. Well, supposedly there's a deal on the table with the Indiana Pacers for 2 first-round picks and Russell Westbrook, and you're not just paying those 2 first-round picks just for them to take Westbrook. No, you're getting Myles Turner, a 27-year-old center that has led the league in block shots, can shoot from the outside, can play multiple positions, guard multiple positions, and you're getting a guy in Buddy Hield who can shoot the lights out. Like, that is a great return for Russell Westbrook and 2 first-round picks. But you need to make sure that there's not better deals on the table. You need to make sure that this actually marginally improves you, because if you make that deal, that's it. You're stuck without assets for several years, and you're not going to be able to make trades to boost up your roster. So you're talking your team, if you do this deal, your team for the next 3 years is Myles Turner, Buddy Hield, hopefully LeBron James, and he doesn't just leave, Anthony Davis, and there you go. That's your team. You got those core 4 to build around with no salary cap, no assets to trade and upgrade, and minimum deals the rest of the way. Do you think that those 4 are enough to win a championship? Because I don't think so. I really don't. Again, chemistry, healthy Anthony Davis, that's an absolute monster. You get bubble Anthony Davis, you get a new motivated, driven Myles Turner. You get Buddy Hield getting back to being a 40% plus 3-point shooter, and you get LeBron James to just stay LeBron James for a couple years? Maybe. I don't think anybody would want to face the Lakers. I don't. But I still think that there are teams that you can make an argument are better for, and that they would, I don't think that they'd be an easy out, but I think that I think Kyrie moves you closer to being a contender than that. And you'd still have, even if LeBron leaves, you'd still have Kyrie and Anthony Davis to build around. And you'd have salary, and you'd have those other things. If you do the Buddy Hield and Myles Turner trade, you're basically completely punting on any possibility of ever getting Kyrie Irving, and you're hoping that, and you're stuck with this team for the next several years. So that's something you got to keep in mind. Unless you can get Myles Turner, leverage that, and send him to the Brooklyn Nets. Hey, we'll give you Myles Turner and 3 second-round picks. Here you go. Give us Kyrie Irving, deal's done, and the Lakers end up with Buddy Hield and Kyrie Irving. I think that is the home run. I think that is the grand slam play. But again, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Do you think that the Lakers' ideal situation would be to do the Indiana Pacers trades, leverage that, go get Buddy Hield and Kyrie Irving? Are you okay with just the Myles Turner and Buddy Hield trade? Do you think, no, wait, be patient, go get the Kyrie Irving trade? Or do you think, be patient, get Buddy Hield and Kyrie? Work it out. Those are basically the options at this point. Like I said, the deal isn't going anywhere with the Indiana Pacers. This deal keeps popping up over and over and over again. So there's clearly something there. Usually when a deal pops up and there's no legs to it, it usually just goes away and you never hear about it again. It's like every week you hear a new update in regards to the Indiana Pacers and Lakers deal. So I do think that it's very likely that this is always a plan B back burner deal. And I know people think I had people in the comments when I've talked about Buddy Hield in the past, and everyone thinks Buddy Hield is Michael Jordan, and every team in the world wants to trade for Buddy Hield on, who's about to be 30 on a $22 million a year contract, just shot 36% or whatever it was last year from 3. So that looks like a decline, and does nothing but shoot 3-pointers. I don't even know why the Lakers want Buddy Hield that much. Especially when you have a guy in Kendrick Nunn who shot 38% last time he played. On top of that, you have Cole Swider. You could bring back Carmelo Anthony. If all you're looking for is just 3-point shooting, right? Cole Swider and Carmelo Anthony. Here's the difference. Cole Swider has never been in a playoff game. Guess who else has never been in a playoff game? Neither is Buddy Hield. So it's not like Buddy Hield has experience and it's he would be useful. You know who does? Carmelo Anthony. You know who shot really well from 3 last year for you? Carmelo Anthony. If all you want is a 3-point shooter, there are other options out there than trading 2 first-round picks to go get Buddy Hield. So there's not a bunch of teams lining up for Buddy Hield. And Myles Turner, teams aren't going to give up the world for Myles Turner because they don't know if he's going to stay. He's on an $18 million expiring contract. He could be gone. But again, those are my thoughts and opinions. Let me know yours down in the comment section below. One last little shameless plug is I did start As It Stands Lakers. It is a channel just like this, dedicated to only the Lakers, because the Lakers are my favorite team. And on this channel, As It Stands, I talk about all teams, all sports, stuff like that. We have football season coming up, so I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. And I just wanted to make a dedicated channel to the Lakers to give the ins and outs. Now, all the big stuff, all the big news and stuff, I will still post here on this channel. But if you want all the ins and outs and just rumors and theories and just discussions just strictly on the Lakers, link down in the description or in the comment section. Go check out the channel, subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.